Okay, so here's the second one. Take that out, put my drill bit in there. Just stick the drill bit in a little bit. I'm going to put that on high. Make sure I'm on forward. And now I have to get that one out. This one's not going to be as easy. I just put something in there. See, a small little screwdriver. You got to get one of these for your nail bag. If you don't have a small screwdriver, get one. Okay, that worked just going like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna take that out, put this in. Stick it on low. Get my 2.5 inch screws because that seemed to be working. You want to pre-drill your screws. You pre-drill your holes. Don't just ram them in there because you could crack your jamb. Plus that drill bit is actually starting your hole into the wood stud behind there. And those wood studs are, this particular house is 17 years old. Okay, so now I still got it on low, and I'm not going to go all the way tight. Pretty close. Happy trigger finger here. You don't use a drill, the more you use a drill, the more you're going to get used to the handle. Now I can go back and double check these. Now see that one? Look at that. These are, that one's tight. These two aren't as tight as they could be, are they? That's kind of discouraging. But it's working. I may have to get a different little screw, maybe the next thread up, put it in there, but I like it that those get tight, and that's what happens over time. You're going to get screws like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to keep working up. I'm going to get that third one down now. Okay, so I've got the first two hinges done. Now I'm going to work on these top two. I'm going to do the exact same thing as I just showed you on there. For kicks, from here down, let's just close the door. I've not closed the door yet. In actuality, our gap should be just a hair bigger down there. And we take a look, and look at that. Sure enough, see the gap there? Now see right here, remember it was tight before? Right here at this gap. Remember that was tight before? I already got it pushed away a little bit. And from here up, it's still pretty tight. See up there? So once I do these two hinges at the top, this one and this one, I suck that over. All it takes is just a little bit that I did before, okay? And you can kind of see, what it could happen. You see here I've got the gap where it's actually pushed the jamb over. But see at the bottom's almost tight now. You can't really do much at the bottom because I put the screws in right here, and that's not going to move the bottom. Plus you've got the trim here, you got the baseboard there, and there's no way that's going to go over. You'd have to take a 2x4 and tap that over, and then you crack this and all that. But you take a look at that. See, in fact, I might want to back this one off just a hair, this particular hinge, back out a little bit. Remember that last little bit of the 3-inch? I put a 3-inch screw down at the bottom, and I got a 2.5 up there. Maybe I should take those out. put a 2.5 down here at the bottom or something. That might kind of help pull this back and kind of flex that back over or something. But you know, this would still be okay if after the doors get painted, because this just hits up against the edge. And so it's probably going to be fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and move these top ones over and see what I can do about this rest of this door, okay? Work in progress, keep her going. Okay, I just did that third hinge. I told you I was gonna take that bottom hinge out and take those 2 screws back out. And sure enough, after I did that, look at the gap. See how it's nicer now? And you got a little bit of a gap there. You don't have so much right there. Because once I took those screws out, I could see that come back. And I'm looking over here and see the gap here right where the doorknob is. It's nicer now. And I just keep following that gap down and it's fine. If anything, it's just slightly a hair bare. Then right there, granted, I still have to work on that top one, but I don't have to do anything with that. I ended up taking those 2 screws out. That sucked it in, took it back, and it kind of relaxed it just enough to where I'm fine with that one. I don't have any screws back in there. I went ahead and put these screws back in here, and as you remember, the only screw that's tight is this bottom one. It's this bottom one right here. Got that snug. See that? This one here just spins. And this one just spins. And you might say, hey Joe, why are you going through all the hassle of taking the whole hinge out, pre-drilling holes, putting 2.5-inch sheetrock screws in there? Why couldn't you just take these screws out and put longer screws in and suck this over? Because it just doesn't work that way. Plus, if you did that, the only screw that has any holding power could possibly be this one here, because these 2 are going to miss the stud because of the sheetrock. This one's barely going to hit the stud. It does barely hit the stud. It could shave off the side of the stud and break off that edge. This one's hardly going to hold. So you got one little screw trying to suck in this whole section of door jamb. There's just no way it's going to do that. That's why I pull that out. I used to just put a nail, because usually it was just the top hinge that was doing it. I used to take an 8-penny galvanized 8, and I put it right there and one up there, hit it in, take a nail set, whack on it, hope that I miss this and don't hit that with the hammer, don't hit my fingers and everything, put some caulking over that and call it good. But then you see the head there and you see the head up there, and then you've got a tendency of that splitting your door jamb too. And that's why I decided, hey, let's just take these off, do it right, pre-drill up there. Because see, this one I just did, I got that long screw in there and there. You don't see it, do you? You see nothing in here. That's how it should be when you get done. Okay? So now I got those 3 done, and I look up here and I'm like, do I need to do that top one? I mean, the gap is pretty good, if anything. And that's another reason for 8-foot doors. You might as well get yourself a little step stool like this, especially 3 steps. Even for a 6'8" tall door, you can go up there, you can hang on to this. Now see, I gotta get up on the 3rd one. I'm up here, and you see there, the gap's not very much at the top edge of that door, is it? I got the same reveal on this side as I do the tops. That means if I took screws and sucked that over, yeah, I could suck that over, but I don't need to, because if I do, I could jeopardize and hit the top of this door up to the bottom of the header of the door jamb. Okay, so I may be looking at this door, deciding I don't think I should do anything more to this door. Okay. Once you start working on doors on your own, you're going to be able to look at them and start deciding. Because remember, I was going to do it all on this side. I ended up right now, ultimately, I only have screws there, and that's it. And this, I'm going to call that good. I'm going to end up doing something different with this before the painters come here. Look at this. You got on each one of these. I'm going to make a different video on that, what I'm going to do to that, how I'm going to get that fixed, how I'm going to get it so it's not going to return. Okay, keep watching my videos. I don't even know how I'm going to title it just yet, but you keep watching my videos, you'll come across it, don't worry. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.